There's always the danger that something will go terribly wrong when a beautiful car gets redesigned. The lines of the original Audi A5 had European elan with a hint of Detroit muscle in the flanks. Nice balance. The Four Rings brand seldom goes rogue on styling. The second generation stays true to the panache of the first one. If anything, the design leans more Euro now since, while it's still available as a two-door coupe, this one is a five-door, what Audi calls a Sportback.
Let's call this what it is, a hatchback, and nothing wrong with that except for people that came of age in the 70s and 80s equate them with budget Japanese cars. Does this look like a budget car to you? The only premium examples that I can really think of these days are the BMW 3 Series Gran Turismo and arguably the Kia Stinger.
Big brother Audi A7 also has the hatchback Sportback rear. The siblings look different enough from each other, it's easy to tell them apart at first glance. That's not always the case with Audi. You can do far worse than waiting behind this car in heavy traffic, and I'll point out the noticeable precision stamped into the sheet metal. It looks good. Lower than the A4 sedan by about 1.5 inches, the A5 is mechanically the same. Quattro all-wheel drive is standard. Under a hood with remarkably narrow gap lines, there's Audi's 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that, when drinking premium-grade fuel, makes 252 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque at 1,600 RPM. There's very little throttle lag. Sounds good for a 4-cylinder. The only gearbox is a 7-speed S-tronic dual clutch with the kind of electronic controller I find fussy when trying to make 3-point turns quickly. Paddle shifters? Yes, and rev matching. Personality can be altered with Audi Drive Select. There are 4 modes, and one of them gives drivers a lot of choice.
Yes, this car does have Quattro all-wheel drive, but it's pretty damp out there. And summer performance tires? Not a great match. In optimal conditions, 0 to 60, about 5.5 seconds, today 6. But that is the beauty of Quattro all-wheel drive, extra traction.
It's not just for snow, it helps in the wet too. The basic power split is 40% up front, 60% in back. There's wheel selective torque control too. Automatic emergency braking is standard on A5. Other active electronics like lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control are part of an $1,800 package.
This would be a great grand touring car, eats up the straightaways very nicely, and to quote my wife, zippy in the corners. She's not much of a car person, but I understand what she means by zippy in the corners.
Translating, the A5 feels natural when slung into a curve. It's light on its feet. Pushed pretty hard, it keeps the line without drama. Performance junkies will want the S5, but I wonder how the extra weight of its V6 engine over the front wheels affects cornering.
One thing about the A5, it's very smooth overall, but also very taut. The ride quality is on the firm side of comfortable. You'll definitely feel all the cracks and bumps in the road. I think the word I'm looking for is communicative.
The S-Line Sport Package suspension and optional 19-inch wheels with low-profile tires probably contribute to that dynamic. A5 is moderately quiet. None of the road noise or exhaust sound coming into the cabin is excessive. In fact, it seems just right.
I almost forgot to mention the transmission because it's easy to forget about the transmission. It's always in the right gear, doing what it's supposed to. Very transparent.
The EPA fuel economy rating for the A5 is pretty good at an average of 27 miles per gallon, though premium fuel weighs the budget down a bit. It's rated a little better than the 3 Series Gran Turismo and beats Stinger all-wheel drive by 3 mpg.
There is an automatic engine start-stop system in this car. Take your foot off the brake, and you can definitely feel it restart. It's okay. Yes, it can be turned off.
Audi is known for pleasant interior atmosphere, and the A5 doesn't disappoint. Accent lighting in a choice of colors looks great at night. The virtual cockpit gauge display works really well. It can be customized the way the driver likes it. The future dovetails nicely with tradition. This gray oak trim is lovely. Door pockets, they could use some lining, and these two could match up better color-wise, but these are nits I'm picking. Drivers with long legs will appreciate this, and most everyone will feel supported in the heated, though not vented, seats. Storage here is good, though it's not enclosed. While it took a little time to get used to, Audi's MMI user interface is pretty good. It's dominated by the big knob, but there are more dedicated buttons to it than most. I like the radio presets here. This is not a touchscreen. Everything is done down on the console, including entering information with writing using the touchpad if you like. If this is all too confusing for owners, there's always Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, though you'll be using the knob to navigate them.
Where's the pitchfork? I thought that was kind of a nice evil twin touch. I'm trying to save space. Yeah, there's just enough head, knee, foot, and legroom for my 5'9" frame back here. And if you're putting car seats in and out of the back, the door openings are a little narrow.
A tip to those living in Minnesota, the $350 cold weather package adds a heated steering wheel to the seat warmers in back. You're welcome. If you want to be as evil as me, put 3 adults back here. The larger drive shaft tunnel combined with the legroom and roofline will be enough to make any grown-up sitting in the middle grouse pretty hard. Remind them that they don't have to take a lift home.
Like SUVs and crossovers, hatchbacks are much better than sedans for taking on big things, like the 65-inch television. That's a real bargain in there. Mine broke. I'm having a really bad electronics month, and I've measured it. It will fit in here.
LED lighting is stylish. I do like these elastic bands. They're a simple way of keeping things from rolling around. And hey, look, a spare tire. Not all cars get those these days. Looking at you, BMW. The trunk holds twice as much as the A5 Coupe, meaning it's quite a reach to drop the seats. It's best to open the back door to do it. Heading up to the slopes with 3 friends, skis and boards will fit inside. As for TP, the low-slung silhouette of the A5 Sportback cuts into cargo space. Audi's all-road wagon takes on 8 of these packs. The most the Sportback can absorb is 6. What's this going to cost? Well, the 2019 A5 Sportback starts at around $44,000. Moving up to the top trim Prestige model here, with extras like pearlescent glacier white paint and the S-Line package, elevates this one to $56,400. That's not inexpensive, but it's far from unreasonable for what you get, which is good looks, nice digs, and a whole lot of refinement. And it's practical when it comes to cargo, if not the back seat. The A5 Sportback isn't an SUV, but it delivers when it comes to sport and utility. It's been said that design is subjective. I don't always buy that line, but the A5 sure looks good. The photographer part of me that has shot over 1,100 cars is always happy when they frame up well and easily. Regardless of how I feel about a vehicle, I always do my best to make it look as good as possible. That's not always easy, even with cars that look good in person. This one was like working with a pro swimsuit model, one without any attitude at all. Remember I was talking about summer performance tires? I think I'm making excuses. Tires make a huge difference. Audi even left this friendly reminder in the car. Oh, and in case you're wondering, nope, I did not buy that TV. I was going to bring it out and slip it in to show that it fit, but then there would be that temptation to keep it, and really, I need to use that cash for a new camera. Besides, I don't watch TV all that much. I'm too busy making it.
Hope you enjoyed this look at the Audi A5 Sportback, and hope you enjoy the photography. I think a lot of you folks know that I shoot all of these videos. When I do the running footage, either Martin Campbell or Rob Calero drive. I can't do both, so special thanks to those guys. I think you also know that I dumped my main production camera. Yeah, there you go. Don't like looking at that. I am doing my best NPR and asking for donations. So if you're feeling generous, please go here. It takes a village. This stuff is not cheap, but it's worth it. You get great photography and good car reviews, and I gotta go shop for a camera now. Thanks for your generosity. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk. Ooh, yes. Stay on your side of the road, please. Jeez. And people think that I'm dangerous by talking to the GoPro. No, I stay on my side of the road.